Welcome back. A lot's happened. Let's get right into it. Lots to happen this last couple of weeks. We've seen lots of losses for City, lots of losses for United, a couple of wins for City, a couple of wins for United. Really up and down couple of weeks we've had.
We seem like we're in the same boat as the last few. I'd say 4 or 5 weeks we've been in the same boat. And even longer than that, City's been losing a lot this season for the past.
We've been in that boat for the last
2 months.
10 years.
Well, God, we're kind of in the same predicament. Slowly but surely, it feels like it seems like we are missing something, and for United, it just seems like they're also just missing that 1 or 2 extra
creative players,
just an extra gear or two, whatever you want to call it. It's just that extra something's missing.
Oomph.
Yes, exactly. Both teams, you think they're set up well. United in particular with the new formation, with their new manager and whatnot. City, we go away to the Juventus Stadium, the Allianz Arena in Turin. Not an easy game at all, no matter how good or in form you are. Going to that stadium, playing that team, that club, it's huge in the Champions League no matter what.
Yeah, it's also a very tough game no matter how Juventus have fared in the Serie A this year. They're a very up and down team. They're a hot and cold team. Thiago Motta has a very, very good understanding of his team, yes, and they really show up when they need to, but there's also been points this year where they just really look out of sorts. For whatever reason, they're just not quite gelling a lot like our teams. But that, Tuesday night, they were there. They showed up ready to play.
They've been consistent throughout in the league. They're not quite top spot, but they're consistent. They're a consistent team. A lot of draws, but you got to do what you got to do.
He's building.
It's what Motta's doing. And home games like this against a team like Manchester City, to get a 2-0 win for them is absolutely huge. Their confidence in the league is going to grow. I'm sure they're going to go on and win probably 3 or 4 games in a row. I wouldn't doubt it.
They're also very high up in the rankings now for the Champions League, so they're pretty much guaranteed damn near, unless something goes crazy these last 2 match weeks, but they're pretty much sealed into the next round.
So with that being said, it's just like this win for them is huge. From a City perspective, detrimental. Like, we're on the chopping block now. Like, we're down there in the Champions League now. Potentially could get knocked out. Honestly, we don't really deserve to be in it with the way we've been playing. Again, like we've addressed, it's that extra oomph. The creative outlet really wasn't there. Juventus, their defense, they held us to like 3 shots on target. We need to get back on it. Our form as of late, everybody knows it's not there. This Juventus team, a good team, not a team you want to go up against when you're not in good form. Yeah. They're at home, Champions League. They showed out. First half, they pretty much locked it down. We had some chances. Haaland should have scored a few chances. He had 1 or 2. Trying to chip the goalie. Goalie makes a really good save though. Goalie made 2 or 3 really good saves today to keep us out. But the creative spark, it really wasn't there for some reason. I don't know why Phil Foden's not starting. They're saying something to do with his stomach. He had a virus or he was sick or something. Whatever.
He had a tummy ache,
And why Bernardo continues to start, I don't understand. I feel like Gundogan's only continuing to start because that's just all we have who can even somewhat play that position with Kovacic out and obviously Rodri. So nobody else is playing the 6. Nunez isn't good enough, obviously. Jack Grealish, yet again, one of the brighter spots. I thought him and Doku could have done a little bit more in terms of getting the ball in. I thought Doku got the ball in 1 or 2 times. There was a chance for Haaland. He wasn't there where he was supposed to be, it seemed like, at the very end of the game. But that's just a Doku chance. Grealish getting on the end of balls, going in, bringing it in from midfield, making defense into attack as he does, which is amazing. What we want from him in midfield. I thought he had an okay game. De Bruyne again, all right. I think he's just doing what he can. It seems like there's something more to the problems. There's got to be something going on. I don't know if it's something in the dressing room. I don't know if it's Pep. I don't know what the reason is, but they have to figure it out. We can't rely on Rodri's not here, so we're not good. Like, no, fuck that. Like, just because one player's not here doesn't mean anything. Kovacic isn't here. We don't have a 6. So like, just because Kovacic isn't here, that doesn't mean anything. Who cares? We should still be competing, not losing all these games in this way too. It's consistent. It's Rico Lewis at left back. I thought he did all right. Gavardio and Diaz again, not really there. Ederson, okay game. A lot of okays and not goods. Really, that's what you get all around from City against Juventus. Not a good performance. We need to see better against United on Sunday because that was terrible. Shout out to the 2 American guys though. First assist and goal from American to American in the Champions League.
You love to see it.
That's the only highlight
you
of
love
the
to
game.
see it.
The only highlight.
Like Tanner said, Sunday is a huge game, not only for City to try and get back on track, but for United to hopefully find some sort of form that
get back on track.
They could get back on track. And it's such a decisive game that I really think it's just going to end up being like a 1-1 draw. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, City have been so poor the last few months, the last few weeks, and they really are there to be taken. Like, that opportunity is there to be taken, but we're not a team that can do that. This is a game that we should feel like we can win, that we really could do what we've been able to do for the last few years against City, and that's beat them. Like, for whatever reason, in some big games, and we show up and we actually do really well, and then in others it's like we don't even show up and we may as well not even have gotten off the bus. So I think it's going to be a really boring game. I think it's going to be a mix. I think it's going to be something that we haven't really seen because this form from City isn't really something that we've seen. So I hope we do better. And in the Europa League we do get a win 2-1 over the
Pleasant Vision.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Czech team. They
Republic
gotta
team.
give them the respect. They're in the competition for a reason.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
We know you're watching.
Oh man, damn.
That guy.
Vudic, I think.
That guy.
I think that's how you said it. I do apologize. Lo siento. I don't speak Czech. But he scored first goal. Did not start well for us. Onana gives the ball away for his second game in a row where he's just absolutely screwed the pooch. Just basically lost us the game almost today and kind of did against Forest. He's been so inconsistent the last couple of weeks when in the first 2-3 months of the season he was one of the best keepers in the league and pretty good in the Europa League as well. No mistakes, no huge problems, up there in the clean sheet rankings, far outperforming his expected goals against, but for whatever reason the last 2 games it's just been terrible. I mean, 2 games in a row, 2 mistakes that led to goals. I mean, I don't know what else to do with him other than to bench him against City, but that's not what you want to do with goalies. They're not outfield players that can sit on the bench for a little while and really recover and think about how they can improve and get back into the team. You bench that goalie and it's almost like game over for them. They're the most unique position on the field.
I think Onana, it's just the decision making in that split moment. He's just got to get his mojo right. He's got to get his confidence back, keep doing what he's doing, saving the ball, worry about that first, and then all the fancy, kicking the ball out and left foot ping, right foot ping, all that stuff can come.
It'll come.
But for now, just get back to the basics, keep doing your thing. Just like Trevin said, the first 2-3 months of the season, he was outstanding.
Yeah.
Performing as one of the best, if not the best goalie in the league, one of the best in Europe, in Europa League. But again, made a mistake today. He has a mistake in him, and even no matter how good you're doing, that those can creep in. So he's got to face it now and turn it back to what it was before. He's got to realize that, and the sooner he does that, the quicker he'll be back into his form. and hopefully he can take those out of his game, but not on Sunday.
Yeah, the better it is for the team. I think under Amarin, there's no guaranteed spots. You know, like under Ten Hag, he knew, hey, this is my goalie. No matter what happens, this is my guy. But now all these players are up for sale.
Who's the backup, though?
Like Bayendier, he's a Turkish.
Bayendier ain't getting no minutes over him not in the derby, so let's be real here about that.
But also, you can always have someone brought in. You know, like
true.
This is not a team that doesn't spend money. Like let's not be crazy here. We'll splash the cash when we need to, and we do it on anybody basically. So anybody can be replaced, and I think that's kind of in the back of some people's heads. You know, some people that we've seen some not so great performances from lately. You know, the Rashfords, the Garnachos.
Oh.
You don't really know what's going to happen. Somebody that, you know, 6 months ago in Garnacho was like, oh yeah, he's going to be the winger for the next 10 years. And then we've seen all this stuff come out about leaks and all these problems, and we don't really know what's going to happen with him now. Same with Rashford. You know, 2 years ago you thought, oh yeah, when he scores 40 goals in a year, you think, okay, he's going to be here for the next 10 years for sure. No worries there. But now he's just not in form. He's not doing great. The team's not doing great. I don't blame him for that. But at the same time, you're the guy. You're Manchester United. You are the face. You're the number 10. Bruno is the captain, yes, and he hasn't been great. But you know, against the Czech team today, they were fantastic. And I'm just saying that because I can't pronounce it correctly. I apologize.
Czech team.
But at the same time, Rashford isn't performing the way he should be. And we all can see that. Some people are giving him unjust criticism, but at the same time, you got to show up, you got to perform. And today, thankfully, we got a 2-1 win at the death, which it shouldn't have got there. Bruno, fantastic ball to Højlund. I mean, just Martial-esque, because in that derby, he flips it over from the free kick goal. Same thing here, but instead of over the top, because Højlund is nowhere near as fantastic with the ball at his feet as Martial, but gets the goal, does exactly what we need. We needed those 3 points bad. I mean, we don't want to be in the playoff position of the Europa League. Mm-hmm. We just want to get through. Like we need the extra time. We need less games to play. We can't be playing 60 games this year, which we could. Unfortunately, we don't have the squad for it. I don't really think anybody has the squad to play 60 games, but that's a whole nother discussion on that. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. I hope.
It's going to be a huge game. I'm honestly, if we're giving predictions now, we got to give a prediction now. Yep. Obviously, end of this video, before we go and watch this next one, after we've watched the game, prediction now.
Yep.
It's at the Etihad.
Yep.
I honestly think I'm going for... It's got to be 2-1 City. It's got to be 2-1 City.
I'm going...
It's got to be. Or no, it might be 2-2 though.
My heart...
It might be 2-2.
My head tells me 2-2.
My brain says 2-2. My heart says 2-1.
2-1 United.
No.
Like, my heart says that we can just get one at the end and then send on City fans. I think...
I really think it feels like City are going to get up 2-0. Second half, United start coming back. They own this second half. 1-0
game, if you know.
1-0 second half to make it 2-1 overall. United still putting on the pressure, but I think City will just find a way to escape out of the second half with the really important derby win.
I think United are going to come out swinging. I think we'll get the first one, and then I think City will get one back, and it's going to be neck and neck really until probably the 85th, 90th minute, and that's when I think we win or we lose. My heart says we win, but
my brain does not tell me we win.
My brain doesn't say we win. Like, no matter how bad they are.
If I'm betting money, I'm not betting on a win. But
yeah, exactly.
I might have to, depending on the odds.
We'll see what happens, but we'll let you know. We'll see what happens.
We already cut it.
Yeah.